What's happening? It's your boy Dreaming Foreign, never living life born. Today's guest, we got Smurf #2 coming to the theaters near you.
Neighbor, what's going on? What's going on?
Going on, people? All right, this just started now. But yeah, man, just let them know about St. Louis history and shit like that or whatnot. Like once we get all right, we got two. All right, once we get a couple of more people in here, we gonna go ahead and get it cracking. Then you can just elaborate on St. Louis history for them.
Yeah, I could do that. I could do that.
All right. All right, we got 10. We got 10 people in here, man. Thanks for y'all tapping in with us right now, man. We got Smurf #2 out of St. Louis. He's gonna be speaking on St. Louis politics and just how it came along and just different areas and different sections. And I'm gonna let him, what I'm saying, just take the floor.
Oh, for sure, for sure. How everybody doing? You know what I'm saying? It's your boy himself. Your coffee brother. Growing up in St. Louis, crazy. You know what I'm saying? My best thing, my best way I could describe it as would be like baby LA. You know what I'm saying? Baby South Central, baby Watts, baby Compton in one small section. You know what I'm saying? And we got the same gangs, same different neighborhoods, but the same exact gangs. You know what I'm saying? So depending on what district you from, that whole what type of Bloods is in that area, what type of Crips is in that area. We got GDs out there just because how close we is to Illinois and Chicago and all that. But yeah, it's just as crazy as LA, and I feel like it's worse just because of the simple fact that it's smaller. You know what I'm saying? Like LA a little bit more spread out, even though all the neighborhoods on top of each other and all that. You still it ain't the same when it's the neighborhoods on top of each other and we ain't got that much room. We all breathing each other breath, make it more dangerous. Me myself, I'm from Southside. You know what I'm saying? Third district, Southside, TNG. Third district neighborhood gang. It's we two side of one love neighborhood, so we got Bloods from our neighborhood as well.
Which
But it's
type of
been a
Bloods?
they neighborhood.
All right.
We all neighborhood. But yeah, they good. You know what I'm saying? Everybody good people for the most part until you just get around the wrong people. Some neighborhoods you just can't go into. Like me personally, growing up on the south side, like when I jumped off the porch, I jumped off. You know what I'm saying in the third district. But growing up, like my daddy, Big Smurf. You know what I'm saying? Smurf #1. He from North Side Fofo Bud. So that area is a whole nother district. That's District 5, I want to say. North
And
Side
they
got
came first before y'all?
yeah, they was before us. My hood was put together by my cousin Free Domo, you know what I'm saying, from TNG. He was kind of like the founder of the neighborhood and got his blessings from older niggas that was cripping.
All right.
And they put it together like that for him and everything. But yeah, my daddy, the origin hoods that 60's would be like the Bud, Aldine, uh you got the Dubs, even even though the Dubs they Long Beaches as well, some of them is half and half 60's over there just because of how much influence the 60's got on the north side.
All right. What type of different blood hoods that was out there, and what hoods that y'all was added the most with, and what hoods y'all were cool with?
So the blood hoods that you got Mob Pyru, you got neighborhood Pyrus, you got Inglewood families, you got out 20 rolling 20 outlaws, you got Brims, you got six dudes, the six deuce brims and shit like that. You got bishops, nine deuce bishop. You got, whew, man, you got a
Yeah.
lot of. It's just a
On
lot
hood,
of
yeah,
blood.
now we
It's
yeah
a
on
whole
hood,
bunch
there,
of what
homies.
you got.
Yeah on hood, yeah, it's past that mark. But far as with just with the area, was it a lot of racial attention, you know what I'm saying,
Oh,
from the
you know what I'm
beginning?
saying? Being like the last state Missouri being the last state to get one of the last states to get slavery abolished, it's a lot of racial tension. We really don't have too many like ain't no Mexican gangs or nothing like that in St. Louis besides like the I think we got like some 13s on the south side, but we really we function with them.
MS-13 or just Southside 13 that just from different cliques.
It's like it's I think it's a clique of MS, but they on the south side, so they push south side 13s.
All right, so all right. Um,
But other than that, yeah, I was saying, but like we really function with other races for real in St. Louis. Like it ain't no racism between minorities. It's more so like the white and black still thing still going on because it's a lot of prejudice energy that ain't never left the city.
Absolutely. So shit, growing up for you, man, how was it like having family from different, parts of the neighborhood? Like, how did y'all relationship carry out?
Me personally, like growing up, me and my daddy being like the only 60s from where we at, and just growing up under his wing and around his friends and shit like that. Like I had a lot of cousins on my mama's side that was Bloods. Even though my mom and her brothers and shit like that, like those, they from the field, 4500 Garfield. So that was a gangster crip hood. But in St. Louis, like just like how in LA, like gangster crips don't rock with neighborhood crips, and then you got, you know what I'm saying, like that whole ideology. In St. Louis, we never had a problem with gangster crips or like Hoovers or nothing like that. Our majority of our beef, really, the stigma came from dealing with like the East Coasters. So the politics is reversed. And then I guess, you know what I'm saying, like having cousins that's Bloods, like we used to squabble all the time. We used to get into it all the time, fighting. You know what I'm saying? What y'all fighting about, we ain't gonna tell. But you know what I'm saying? As soon as she leave out the room,
Mm-hmm.
we back squabbling again, though.
All right, for sure, for sure, for sure. All right. Well, then your transition into California, and then you being where you at. How was that transformation for you?
So just without a lot of the street shit that was going on back in my neighborhood and shit like that, that shit we was taking a lot of losses. You know what I'm saying? We was dealing with a lot of funerals and court dates. You know, like a lot of that was going on. So me personally, I wanted more for myself. I seen who I was in my neighborhood and I wanted to be bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to take myself to the next level. So I was like, shit, fuck that. I got to get the fuck up out of here and go to California and do something better for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me figure out what it is that I need to do here, hustle my ass off, take that money and just leave and never look back. And I did that shit. And you know what I'm saying? It worked out for me. You know, your boy a chef now, you know, for the Kings and all that.
A
What
question here. One a viewer got this question for you. They want to know. TJ wants to know why the St. Louis Six Deuce East Coasters, why they rep orange. Explain that for the viewers.
So that I don't have an answer for you. You know what I'm saying? We at me particularly knowing LA politics and shit like that, we look at them like fake Hoovers or some shit like that. Because like damn, like the East Coasters don't be popping that orange and they wear orange. Like they don't wear orange and blue. Some of the niggas do, but for the most part, motherfuckers is wearing all orange. I don't know why they do that shit. That shit weird, but that just put more fuel in the fire between the 60s and the East Coast is because like damn, y'all wearing orange too? Like that ain't neighborhood.
So what happened, with the initial beef, you know what I mean? Because that's something close net, you being from St. Louis and you happen to, have run-ins with that particular crew, how that, went down and unfolded.
Growing up basically before my generation of, you know what I'm saying, 60s and shit like that, it was my dad's. They started off, it was this OG, one of the OG homies, you know what I'm saying, before myself, Scary Terry from the Bud. He had LA ties and everything like that, and he was doing his thing. He was getting his grind on and all that. And the hate in the city, you know what I'm saying, basically he succumbed to the hate of the city. So the East Coasters wasn't feeling certain thing or whatever it was, and they took his life, you know what I'm saying? And that started the fire, like instantly, like, oh, y'all killed Scary Terry. Like it was like fuck East Coast at that point. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't fucking with them like that. And then shit, after so many people getting beat up and getting smoked and shit like that, like it's shit. You know, it's gonna only keep going.
So
That's
30 Grimy,
started.
30 Grimy. Did you ever have any run-ins with him, or have you ever had, any stories to tell about him, from the neighborhood, or was he really a stepper like that, or was he just an artist?
from what I heard, because my ear close to the city, and then I always go home. You know what I'm saying? At the least twice a year. So when I do get put my ear to the streets, when I'm touching 10 toes down, like I heard things. You know what I'm saying? Like them boys ain't no hoes or nothing like that. But that's still the other side though. You know what
All
I'm saying?
right, for sure.
It's like fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like them niggas ain't no hoes. Like I ain't never ran into 30 deep myself. Like he younger than me. He in a whole different generation. So me and him never ran together, but I know people who know of him and shit like that. Like, oh yeah, I went to school with him, or they seen him, and yeah, they know dude get down with like how he get down.
Cool. So your ventures out to Los Angeles, how was that, and how was the air, and how was the presence, and what you think was one rumor that you just had to put out there that it's not true, for people who are quote unquote out of towners, if you want to elaborate on that.
So for me building a foundation for myself before I even went out there type shit, that shit got me all the way right for real, for real. Like motherfuckers was fucking with me off the strength of me just tapping in with them every day. You know what I'm saying? And me just showing love and checking on motherfuckers and asking them how their kids doing and shit. Like just like regular people, normal shit. Like I built some strong relationships with people down there. So when I got there, it was already love for me. It was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? But shit, I'm down, I'm by myself. And everybody know how I move when I go out of town, or when I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm 10 toes. I'm by myself. So shit, I hit the streets by myself, and Cud and them just told me basically how to drive down there. Like driving down there is a whole nother way of driving. Ain't no stopping and letting niggas get all close to you and look in your car. None of that. You moving, no bumping stop signs, red lights, yellow light mean go faster. Like, but it
Hmm.
was good though once I got around the people who I was supposed to be around. You know what I'm saying? And they showed me love. So one thing I could say about LA that's a lie is motherfuckers not finna just be on your ass unless you know what I'm saying, bringing that type of energy to yourself.
For sure.
What they tell me is, cuz just be yourself and do your thing. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Just be yourself.
Exactly. So with 6ix9ine getting assaulted in Lake Worth, Florida, in Palm Beach County, how do you feel about that? You know,
One more time.
with 6ix9ine being assaulted in West Palm Beach, how do you feel about that? Well, technically Lake Worth, Florida, just for the
Cuz
viewers.
cuz deserve that shit.
You think it was enough, or you think it was just the beginning?
Nah, that's the beginning. That's how I start off, because he been doing, he was on his little rat race. He was running he was running a mile, so they caught up to his ass. And it don't look like them was no gangsters that got on his ass, like some niggas, you know what I'm saying? Them was some buff ass niggas. So it's like shit, once them boys get up to you, they gonna touch you.
Hmm.
Cuz say he from Columbia, Missouri, and the little niggas from the Lou don't bang neighborhood against the Crip like that, but they rep Crip and blood shit. That's true. But that's also not true, because it depends on what district you talking about. Motherfuckers is pushing neighborhood and motherfuckers is pushing gangster Crip because they know the origin of their hood. We will push our neighborhoods where we from before we push like, yeah, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm from TNG, I'm from 3rd district. But this neighborhood crypto, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I know my origins. Niggas, you got niggas who know they origin and where they from, and they gonna push that. And then you got motherfuckers who just push their neighborhood all the way out.
So there were no Latin Kings in St. Louis at all that you can ever recall.
Like Kings and shit, that's when you cross the bridge by the arch and shit downtown, and you go to the east side. They got Latin Kings and GDs and Vice Lords and shit like that. We
TJ
don't.
say TJ say they wasn't wearing Yankee hats.
No, they was wearing Seattle Mariners hats, and we was wearing Blues hats in the '60s. And the Bud, like, you know what I'm saying, they was wearing the gloves hats like the '40s. They wasn't wearing, you too many people weren't wearing NY hats. They'll wear that S hat though.
All right. So with the Inglewood families, were there a problem with y'all or whatnot, or it was just, what I'm saying, like they were too far distance for y'all to even, have any run-ins with? Like what hood did y'all really, bump heads with where y'all was colliding with?
Back in my days, like the Stansbury 2100 Stansbury, we used to get into it a lot with the I Block niggas too. They was the other Crips that
Oh,
we
you mean the strawberries? I mean the strawberries, yeah. The
strawberry.
strawberries,
The,
yeah. with them guys, the po ass niggas. Yeah,
The the niggas that wanted to be 60s, but it just didn't work out for them.
didn't work out. Yeah, um,
Yeah, the Strawberries, we used to static with them hard. You know what I'm saying? I didn't put my hands on a couple of them niggas. They know who they is. But yeah, like my cousin didn't put his hands on a couple of them niggas too. You know what I'm saying? Like
what's
it's
happening with it, man? My nigga, hey, my nigga Shimmy, man. Hey, you already know, man. Feel me? 20s to the 60s, man. Shout out to my nigga Shimmy, man. Make sure y'all go, you know what I'm saying? Follow my man Shimmy, man. For real, man. Artist, rapper, knockout artist, comedian, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Your local stepdaddy. Nah, let me stop, man. My niggas, you know what I'm saying? He out here doing positive things.
that's what's up. That's what's up on rolling.
This is what. But yeah, man. Far as with St. Louis, what you think? Like you think it doesn't get enough of recognition, far as your city. Far as with artists, or far as with street shit. You think it's looked down on? You know what I mean? Slept
I
on.
personally I feel like we do get the recognition for being, you know what I'm saying, like dangerous, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's not publicized because we a major city, but we a small city at the same time.
On hood.
And it's just like they don't talk about what's going on in St. Louis. Like you got like Swamp Stories then reached out to me before and some shit like that just to try to get some insight and get a little bit of sauce from me and who else? Couple other just a couple other, you know what I'm saying, pages like they
So what
know.
about Nelly? People want to know about Nelly's. Nelly, certified as Nelly. Like who out of the Saint lunatics, who's the real lunatic, or who really was just Lucy?
The lunatic out of the lunatics, Key Wine, Slow Down, Murphy Lee for sure. Like those the lunatics. You know what I'm saying? Ali Good Peoples, Nelly. It's a wobbler when it come to Nelly for real.
They
Cause
damn sure play ball out there in St. Louis.
yeah, Nelly is like, you know what I'm saying? Like he got the legacy mainstream, but when it comes to the city, people don't really be fucking with Nelly like that. They
Uh,
fuck with Murphy Lee for sure. Like Murphy Lee could go anywhere in St. Louis and it's love because if the city know him, you know what I'm saying, and he do that. Like they really from University City, which is the outskirts of St. Louis.
DJ said Nelly like
University City.
a
It's like
football coach and
it's
activist.
it's by the west side, right? They on the outskirts of the west side. They on the outskirts of the
But
west
then
side. That's what they.
I ain't gonna lie, I heard that too, Shimmy. I told Cuz that plenty of times. I heard that Nelly at one point was claiming to be a
Mm.
rolling 60s neighborhood crib. Can you elaborate on that in his neighborhood and if that's possible or impossible?
I think that's impossible because it's not that many. It wasn't that many 60s on the outskirts of the city yet. That shit eventually happened like over the years and shit like that. Like St. Louis was set up like north, south, and west. You know what I'm saying? The St. Louis don't got an east side. It's just north, south, and west. It started on the north side, like Crips and Bloods and shit like that, and then it started to spread. Since it's small, it got to downtown. That's how you got like old hoods that's not around no more, like Laclede Town and shit. Those were some real boys. Those were some real boys that was 6 O's. Like Laclede Town, those was like the downtown 60s and shit. Then you got the Cochrane, which is they 8th Street, but those is Long Beaches as well. You know what I'm saying? 8th Street, 20th Street, all that. From 20th Street all the way to the Bud, you know what I'm saying? Red Bud, Blue Bud, though, that's what they call it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all dubs, all rolling 20s, all, you know what I'm saying, Long Beaches, then the 90s pop up, and then you got the 60s, and then like some 40s too, like some old school 40s.
This nigga TJ, funny as hell. This nigga TJ say, tap into Nelly when you want to further your football career. That shit, that shit
Hey, he
funny
got
as
all
fuck.
that workout music for you.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that shit funny. I give him that.
No, Nelly done did some shit for the certain people and certain families in the city. I ain't gonna take that from him. I
The
ain't gonna.
Dubs is out there in St. Louis. He was asking that. I believe so.
You
Are they
say,
out there? The Rolling 20 Cribs.
mm-hmm.
All right, all right. What
We
part?
go,
He wants to know. The homie Shimi want to know. He said, if you know any, tell them to tap in because,
Yeah,
or you know how
I
that
got
go.
them. I'll put them in with them boys. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, them niggas rapping like they got that shit. They got that shit. The 20s in St. Louis. I ain't gonna lie. Like some of them boys go crazy.
They go crazy. All right, that's what's happening. Because I'm not
Right.
surprised though. Because um, you gotta think about it. Ohio got them, Cleveland got them, and then Missouri just right there. You know what I mean? So it's not like you know what I mean. It's not
For
like
real.
yeah.
I feel like just
He said,
just
"Nah,
like LA.
He said, "No, I'm trying to tap in with bro too."
No, I got you for sure. Just like LA though, I feel like St. Louis, we ignorant to what's like, you know what I'm saying, like outside of what goes on outside of us, you know? Like that's why a lot of niggas don't tap in with like the land and shit like that, or because they like shit, nigga. Like we got our own shit going on down here.
Oh shit, cuz the homie Travis, I guess he know you, cuz niggas say rest in peace, Scary Terry, free
Free
Just
Please,
B. Yeah.
that scary Terry, man. That
My
was a
opinion on Missouri, man, I'm gonna tell you this real shit. I go by stacks. It's always been the murder capital, and the thing is this: they just a north version of Louisiana. They poor as fuck. Ain't nothing going on. No hope. Motherfucking abandonment, loss of identity, in the middle of nowhere, stranded, with niggas hating on them, and it's just gonna be killings after killings after killings after killings after killings because there's nothing set up for the minorities
no,
to prevail.
and that's exactly what the fuck going on, especially after COVID. It made it worse down there for real.
Yeah, exactly.
It made it way worse down there because it's like now niggas really ain't got shit to do but buy guns and you know what I'm saying, pull up on their
Tell them
ops.
about the gun laws out there, for people that's because they tourists. They ain't, a lot of people ain't never been to St. Louis.
So
Put
if you
them on
go
game with
to
that.
Louis, you know what I'm saying, it's open carry laws, man. So you if you got people out there, if you know somebody that's you know what I'm saying active and get their shit on and shit like that, you want to tap in with them. They got legal guns because it's an open carry law and it's a stand your ground law.
How does
So
that work? For outsiders, explain to them.
basically, we gonna put me in the situation. When I go home, me and my dad got the same name. So when I holler at him, I just grab his straps or whatever. Or you know what I'm saying, I pick up my shit that I didn't left behind down there and shit like that. And if I get pulled over, you know what I'm saying, they gonna run the guns. Long as the guns not stolen, reported stolen, and none of that shit like that, serial number scratched off, it's like fresh. They gonna give you the gun right back. You can pull the fuck off and have a nice day. Cause it's just wicked like that down there. They don't. It's like they don't want you to die, but they know you gonna get into a shootout or something. You know.
The reason I say that, and I elaborated, is because in the state of Florida, as of March 30th, it's a permitless license and it's an open carry state now, and it'll take effect and it'll be in effect, I believe in June allegedly, or maybe shorter. So definitely, man, those can be pros and cons, but I believe it can be pros for a lot of people that don't have a license in their state or whatever and still want to be protected. So
Mm-hmm.
you ain't gotta go ahead and get no you don't have to have a legal an illegal firearm. Just have it clean. You ain't got no felons, you cool, you can do your thing, buy you a holster, be smart. You ain't gotta worry about it, don't have nothing around you that you shouldn't have, that is considered a crime in that sense mistake, especially Florida. Don't have no weed and no drugs, no alcohol around you and just have your pistol, you good. That's what we promote, especially, if you're gonna be out here trying to protect yourself. So
Hey, for sure, for sure. Like you got to make sure, cause
yeah,
shit,
you can't
it
be a felon though. You can't be a felon, but
not be a felon with a
yeah,
gun.
you're right. You can't be a felon with a gun. But then this is the thing: if you look the part and you're cool and you're not brandishing it, they can't. And you're not drinking and you're not smoking, they can't just randomly pull up on you anymore. That's the gray area.
hmm
You ain't got no weed in the car. You ain't doing nothing bad. You feel me? But then again, if they do a traffic stop and they run your ID, then you fucked. Yeah. Once they run that ID, yeah, then it's gone for you. But that's just a little gray law.
Yeah, as long as you ain't no felon and you good, they gonna get that motherfucker right back to you and let you pull off. That shit crazy. Like once and it happened to me because I had, like I say, I had my dad guns and shit like that when I'm in town.
Oh
And
God.
when that shit on me and shit like that, I done been pulled over a couple times. Like shit, they ain't tripping off weed. They looking for dope only now. Like it ain't even looking for guns no more. They is looking for guns if your shit dirty or some shit like that. But long as your shit together, it could be somebody else gun. Long as that motherfucker not reported stolen, they gonna give it right back to you.
All right. Hell yeah. But yeah, Smurf shit, man. I appreciate you for tapping in. We
Oh,
gonna do a part two. I just want y'all to, see my man right quick, you know what I mean? He gonna definitely be a normal, you know what I'm saying, guest coming through. Uh Little Smurf number one. I mean Little Smurf number two, pardon me, that's you know what I'm saying, the marriage you want, you know how that go. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Uh like and subscribe, leave a comment, follow my Instagram, and we'll be back again. You niggas
Nate,
can't stop the rain.
never.
I would.